Okay, so if you ever feel like you're just drowning in manual bookkeeping, you've come to the right place. Because over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through some absolutely essential features in NuMetric. The goal? To take your accounting from, a total chore to a streamlined, automated system that pretty much runs itself.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by laying the foundation with your financial blueprint. Then we'll get hands-on with making entries. And the best part? We'll show you how to put it all on autopilot so you can get back to, running your business.
All right, first up, your financial blueprint. We're going to dive into understanding the chart of accounts. Before you can automate anything, you have to build a solid structure, right? And that all starts with this, the absolute foundation of your entire accounting system.
So what exactly is a chart of accounts? Well, it's way more than just a list of names and numbers. Think of it as the organizational backbone for your entire business. It's the system that lets you tell the story of your finances, tracking exactly where every single dollar comes from and where it goes. A really simple way to think about it is like this. It's basically a digital filing cabinet for all your company's money. Every transaction, a sale, a purchase, a payment, is a piece of paper. And the chart of accounts is what gives you a specific, labeled folder to put it in. Super simple, super organized.
Okay, let's move on. Now we're looking at the 5 account types, which is really about organizing your money. So we've got our filing cabinet set up. Now let's open up the drawers and see what the main sections are inside.
And here they are. Literally every single financial event in your business is going to fall into one of these 5 categories. It's such a simple but really powerful system. You've got assets, that's the stuff you own. Then liabilities, that's what you owe. And of course, you track all the money moving through with income and expenses. And it all wraps up into equity, which is kind of the big picture score.
All right, next up, making your first entry with the journal voucher. So our structure is in place, the filing cabinet is all neat and tidy. The big question is, how do we actually start putting documents in the cabinet? Let's talk about how you actually record those day-to-day financial events.
And that's where the journal voucher, or JV as you'll hear it called, comes in. This is your go-to tool for manually recording transactions. So we're talking about things that don't get created automatically by, say, an invoice or a bill. Think about things like internal fund transfers or maybe some year-end adjustments. That's what a JV is for.
Now, creating a JV in NuMetric is super straightforward. This first part is really just about setting the stage. You're just going to navigate to Accounting, click on Transactions, and choose Add Journal Voucher. Then you pop in the date, and this is important, add a really meaningful description. So when you look back in 6 months, you actually know what it was for.
Okay, and part 2 is where you see the heart of double entry bookkeeping in action. See, every transaction has 2 sides. You'll add a line, pick the account to debit, enter the amount, and then do the same for the credit account. The key, and this is how your books always stay accurate, is that those 2 sides have to balance out perfectly before you can hit save.
And get this, you are not limited to just simple 2-line entries. For those more complex transactions, I'm thinking, splitting one big software bill across marketing, sales, and operations, well, a single journal voucher in NuMetric can handle up to 20 different line entries. That is some serious flexibility right there.
All right, let's talk about putting entries on autopilot, and this is what I call the magic of recurring transactions. Okay, so you've totally mastered the manual entry. Awesome, but now, let's talk about how you can avoid doing those same repetitive tasks by hand ever again.
So what's the difference? Well, it's simple, but honestly, it's a total game changer. A standard journal voucher, that's a one-time thing you have to create manually every single time. But a recurring transaction, you set it up just once. You tell it when to start, when to stop, and how often to run, and that's it. NuMetric just handles the rest for you.
And you have complete control over the schedule. Look at this. Whether you need something to run daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or even just once a year, like for an insurance payment, you can set the exact frequency you need. It's totally up to you.
So why bother setting these up? The benefits are just crystal clear. First off, you're automating things like rent or subscriptions. That means you reduce manual work, which saves you a ton of time. It also lowers the risk of just forgetting a key entry. And ultimately, it just helps you handle all that predictable financial stuff with way less effort.
Honestly, this quote really says it all. Just set it once, and NuMetric takes care of the rest. It's the absolute definition of work smarter, not harder, right? The whole idea is to give you consistency and accuracy with the absolute minimum effort from you on an ongoing basis.
Okay, let's wrap this up and control your financial story, taking it from setup to autopilot. It's time to bring everything we've talked about together. We've literally gone from the basic building blocks all the way to some really powerful automation. So let's look at the complete system you now know how to build for yourself.
And this is the journey we just took right here. It's a simple 3-step process. You start with the blueprint, that's your chart of accounts. Then you learn to take action with journal vouchers. And the final amazing step is automation, using those recurring transactions to put it all on autopilot.
So, I want to leave you with this question. What's the first repetitive task in your business that you're going to automate? Seriously, think about it right now. Is it your rent, a software subscription, a regular transfer? Whatever it is, that's your first target. Go find it and put it on autopilot today.